Beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagel. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail. Who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year? Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs rolled last night at home over the East-Leading Detroit Pistons 121-106. Victor Wembanyama, 38 points, 16 boards, 5 blocks to lead the way. De'Aaron Fox, 29 in the win. They return to action tonight against the Clippers here in the Frostbank Center. Tip-off set for 8:30. The Texans, they've been putting in a whole lot of work. They released Joe Mixon. They extended Daniil Hunter and Dalton Schultz.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pleasure wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pleasure. I appreciate you joining me, however you may be joining me. Whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, you can be locked in and listening live at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching live on YouTube like Fred Records and Renee G. Of course, we stream all of our shows on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, go ahead and like and subscribe. You're able to comment along with the show as it happens, or you can feel free to call in at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Lots to get into today, including the Houston Texans making a ton of moves. The chief among those big moves that the Texans made, though, was by far the extension of All-Pro and Pro Bowl pass rusher Daniil Hunter. And Daniil Hunter has done a series of deals since he's got to Houston like this, and the contract keeps escalating, and it is getting impressive with the amount of money that Daniil Hunter is bringing home. Earlier today on the Morning Huddle, Rob and AJ talking about the Texans' extension of Daniil Hunter and what it means.
The Texans get Daniil Hunter locked in $40 million for
1 year deal, baby.
$40 million for a pass rusher? What?
1 year, baby.
1 year, $40 million. It's the second extension he's had with Houston. He signed a 2-year deal before, 2 years, $49 million.
Why not franchise him? I know they might have another franchise tag being used, but it seems like whenever I see a 1 year deal that's above the average of 5, I'm like, well, why did you do that?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I mean, it does give you that flexibility, but
there's like many reasons, I'm sure. I say this out of ignorance, but it just seems like there's a way you probably could have gotten it cheaper.
I think the deal is that the Texans knew that if they wanted to keep him on a year-to-year thing, you were just gonna have to pay a premium, and they like,
hey, I'm about it, man.
Yeah, and he was probably okay with that too. And it's like, yeah, we can give you, you could go out and make 2 years and probably make 30 to 35 per, or we can just go ahead and lay a big number down here and just play this year. We'll see how it goes. And he said, okay,
if he's in for it, I'm all about it. But
because that's what he did last year. Last year he made like around $36 million for a 1 year extension, and he balled out. Okay, let's do it again.
It's kind of counter to what I believe, but I'm all about it if he wants to play for me that way.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not an old guy, but he's not young. He's 31, 32 years old. I don't know, man.
It'd be hard for me to turn it down if they slid that contract.
That's
my
what I'm
way.
saying. I'll say, yeah, I'll play for a year for that.
Right. So when that check, you're gonna write that today?
It's a good year's work. He was fantastic last year. Second team All Pro. Texans obviously had a great defense. They wanted to keep it intact, and they do a good job of getting that done. Azeez Al-Shaair is likely to get an extension this offseason as well. Will Anderson, we expect to have a game-changing, probably highest paid pass rusher in the league type extension here pretty soon.
Trent Brown.
Derek Stingley is going to have to get paid. So, no, I guess they did already pay. No, did they? I don't know. They gave Derek Stingley his money. I'm pretty sure.
Isn't Brown supposed to? He'd probably get paid in the next 2 days.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're throwing money around this defense to keep it together, which again makes me wonder even more.
He is Trent Brown is re-signing 1 year, $7 million.
Okay, that's a good deal. It makes you wonder even more if they're going to be able to how they're going to pay CJ Stroud.
Let's hope that they go, you know what? Maybe we don't have the money, but that's not going to happen.
Well, remember, Stroud and Anderson from the same draft class, number 2 and number 3 picks in that draft. And I said at the time, when it comes time to give these guys long money, they're only going to be able to keep one of them.
And one's already got the deal.
And
they're going to keep them both. It's just going to hamstring everybody else. They got a very short window.
One of them is like one of the 4 or 5 best guys in the league at his position.
Well, Anderson's pretty good.
The other one is CJ Stroud.
Oh.
So, the other one had a good rookie year 3 years ago and has done not much since. But, hey.
He's got a $7 million left tackle to take care of him now.
Yes, that'll fix everything.
Look, they freed up money by getting this extension done, which I think is great. They freed up more money this afternoon as they ended up cutting Joe Mixon. So that's another 8.5. And then they freed up more with the extension of Dalton Schultz today, I imagine. So with all that, they're creating a lot of money. Let's hope that they turn around and use that money, for an extension on Will Anderson. And I think Will Anderson extension would actually lower the cap savings for this year as well. And that they can turn around and use that in free agency to help bolster this offensive line in front of CJ Stroud, giving him, with David Montgomery, the best chance to succeed next year and take advantage of the defense that they have in front of them, because they've got an incredible defense. PM Fox 155 says Patriots trade off an offensive lineman for a 5th rounder to the Bears. Yep. Center Garrett Bradbury traded to the Chicago Bears, who lost their starting center due to retirement at 28 years old in Dahlman just a few days ago. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the Texans navigate this newly found money that they have, because to me, that there is a lot being thrown around when it comes to interest with Cabe Mays, mutual interest with the Wyatt Teller. And if you bring in 2 interior guys like that, you've re-signed Trent Brown, who had a really good year, but I think you need a solid backup or replacement plan for him, because you can't count on him to stay healthy. I think in his 11-year career, he's been healthy 3 times for an entire season. So there's a lot out there for the Texans to consider. And it's not just them. The entire Browns offensive line has been cut and let go, and that includes Joel Bitonio. Daniel Batista says the Texans should go after Alex Kappa, who the Raiders just cut. Look, Raiders just cut him. I don't know what their actual pleasure level with a former draft pick that I was very high on, and JPP, Jackson Powers Johnson, or JPJ, out of Oregon, the center. I don't know what their true feeling about him after a very down initial season with the team if they're ready to cut bait or whatnot. But if you can swap a late round pick, I wouldn't be mad at that either. There are a ton of moves that the Texans can make, including trades like we just saw for Bradbury that you didn't even quite think may happen. Like the Bills needed a number one receiver going into the draft to open things up for them. They find a DJ Moore, who a lot of us weren't even sure was available. Fred Villarreal says on our YouTube live feed that AJ brings up Josh Allen no matter what the topic is being discussed, it seems. He's a Bills fan. I'm a Texans fan. I'll bring everything back to the Texans, but you lean on similar instances to provide multiple points to your argument. And with the Houston Texans, I've seen them open up. We thought they were going to open up some cap space. They tore down the offensive line, trade away their best piece, and you thought, oh man, they're going to revamp this entire thing this offseason. They didn't really do that. They didn't commit to it. So they're doing the same thing this year, and it's like, oh man, they're going to do it again. But now I'm pensive about it because I don't know if they're freeing up this cap space and not going to use it on the glaringest hole on their roster again. It's like Cowboy fan. And I can circle back to this because is a similar thing. We've seen Jerry do this song and dance before where he's talked about, spending money, and then it comes time to spend money and he never spends it. He opened up money, but he only opened up just enough to get under the cap. There's still a lot of space he can open with restructures that will give them even more money to be active in free agency. He is yet to do those restructures to open up the amount of space to actually go and play in these first few days of free agency. So I am very indifferent if Jerry will actually do what he said he's going to do, what a lot of people think they're going to do. Joshua Jimenez says he's finally off Linderbaum being a Texan. Good. Because even if they opened up enough money, which they have now, they have so many needs along that offensive line. I'm not sure throwing all of it at one guy is a great idea. And it will probably cause more cap hell in the coming years to do something like that. I say you go after proven starters that have had success in the league, like a Wyatt Teller, like Cade Mays, like, those types of players that aren't going to command top of the market money, so that you can then bring things around and fill in all the holes of this team. Because let's face it, they have more than just the offensive line as a whole. Depth at cornerback is an issue, I think. If anything happens to Stingley or to Lassiter, who's next up? And they've still got a hole at safety standing next to Kalen Bullock. They've tried to plug that hole with different pieces, whether it was CJ Gardner-Johnson or Jimmy Ward, or it just hasn't worked out to this point. Now, the guy they drafted last year in Jalen Reed, could he potentially be that guy? Maybe, but he was hurt a lot this year. So I'm not quite sure if he can be the guy or not. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to be a part of the conversation here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, Joe Mixon cut. Finally, the long saga in Houston is over with that. And Dak Prescott, did his mouth get him in trouble? Or is Mike Florio just clickbaiting? We'll discuss as we come back here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, the regular season in college hoops is done. On to the big conference tournaments. And the Spurs had a big weekend how'd they do? A big week ahead as well. We'll talk about it all. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
That's why I hear these songs about tractor rap. It makes me want to kick a dog.
I know, so passe.
I don't kick dogs. I'm being sarcastic.
John Clay Chappelle.
Don't cancel me.
Bam! Walk outside my house and kick that dog. Wham!
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With the center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1076. 800-499-1076. 800-499-1076.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. Appreciate you rolling along with me here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube at SA Sports Star and online at sasportstar.com. However you're listening, I appreciate it. And, of course, your calls are always welcome at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Like Josh, talk some Texans, and Josh is going to call in. Josh, what's happening, man? You concerned about the O-line?
Of course, I'm concerned about the O-line. I don't think it's going to be that much better next year. Again, I think Linderbaum is probably the best answer for them, but I have a feeling Caserio is going to do those bargain basement deals. That's why I was saying on the YouTube chat. And if y'all want to go to the YouTube chat, you can comment along, or you can just hit that subscribe button so you can subscribe to 94.1 Sports Star. You can get all the economies of pledge you need. So I think that if they go after Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Ethan Posick, and Jack Conklin, just try to get all of them, just because I think it maybe only is $25 million altogether, and you can solve all the offensive line issues because Trent Brown's only going to play maybe 7 games, and you're going to need someone else there. And then it also lets you draft these players early, like Pregnon, Honor Lou, I'm really excited about as a center, Rutledge, and maybe a Blake Miller, or all these other draft picks. It doesn't force them to have to go out there and be immediate starters on the offensive line. You can give them time to develop. You give them leaders. You give them guys who've been there and played in the league for so long at offensive line, and they can help coach them, teach them how to last in the NFL and how to play against these guys in the NFL. And then it lets you use your salary cap to maybe make your superpower, the defense, even stronger, because I just feel like if you're not going to make the offensive stronger, let's just make the defense unbeatable. Go sign defensive tackles. I think when Jonathan Allen became a free agent, let's go ahead and pivot and try to get Jonathan Allen on this defensive line and use one of your and use a draft pick on maybe a Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech. I'm starting to really like that guy. I think he could be that stalwart future, and just let a Jonathan Allen, Lee Hunter eat up at defensive tackle. I mean, Will Anderson loves Sheldon Rankins, but he'll be out there too. They're going to run a platoon of defensive linemen. You're going to need a bunch of bodies out there. Just make the superpower unstoppable. Get a young linebacker out there in the draft too. And I know you probably won't be able to solve every offensive line problem, but if you can get in the draft a few young people to learn, maybe about 3 young offensive linemen to learn behind those guys, you can hopefully fix these situations over the years to come. Because let's be honest, the Texans O-line situation is just going to be bad forever. Or for a while. So let's just get some linemen that can go out there, play, contribute, and help out. Because I think Caserio is just going to keep throwing more money at the defense, and you got to find cheap options at the offensive line. 1 year that you can actually save the offensive line with cheap options, but
I would hope so. I mean, there are a lot of linemen available, Josh, and that's the one thing where I think that you can find, much like they did last year. And let's give Nick his flowers with this. While he's had his misses like Juice Scruggs and Kenyon Green on the offensive line, he seemingly hit on Ariante Ursary last year, and his trade to pick up Ed Ingram, who was a flop in another situation and a bust, worked, because that guy's about to get paid for how he performed in Houston this year.
Okay. So this leads to my other question, or what you think about it, because I've heard people talk about it. Do you think Nick Caserio is just bad at drafting and selecting players to fit in the Shanahan zone system, where it's a wide zone? You want quicker linemen. You want linemen with a little bit more speed, not so much power, where Houston's starting to go to this more duo gap power run scheme, where it's just, hey, we're going to use massive linemen to make one hole, and you're just going to hit it. They're going to keep laying on people. You want your backs to hit the hole quick. And it seems like he's hit on those type of linemen a lot more than hitting on the linemen who can kind of get out there and run like those outside zone plays and stuff like that.
I mean,
what do you think on that? Or
for sure. I mean, a lot of people, he's probably never had to scout the wide outside zone system before. So obviously he's going to be behind the eight ball in that, spending the entirety of his career in New England for the most part. Now, all teams run similar concepts, like that. Nobody's duo exclusive. They'll run different versions and formations of similar plays. They're just not as heavy as other teams, so it doesn't call for as much. So you need your linemen to be more niche specific in other areas. But Bill Belichick was with the systems that he ran there, whether it was defensively or offensively, they were an amoeba. They tried to match their game plan to the team they were playing more so than their system was just going to go and line up and dominate whoever they were going to play. Like, Peyton Manning or the Kubiak system, or, those teams, they ran a scheme that was, our scheme so good, you have to beat our scheme. We're not changing it. The Patriots ran, and this is, it's like learning French and Chinese backwards at a, PhD level. The Patriots ran things to where they changed constantly. And Brady talked about how fluid and expansive the schemes that they ran were, and how much everything changed, and how much you had to know and be in your playbook to run these things, and how intelligent the quarterback had to be to run, whether it was McDaniels or Weiss or whoever their offensive coordinators was, schemes and plays. And so when it's that complicated, there are a handful of people maybe that can run schemes like that. I've never, while I like those schemes because the unpredictability of them and the bind that it puts the opposing defense in, you're asking a lot of your entire team.
Correct.
I mean, a lot.
I've agreed with you. I've always thought, hey, just find those few bread and butter run plays that you're good at, and let's build some play action and some stuff off of that. I think you need to have an identity, but I understand that that's how they've done with their offense, but it was just something I've seen around.
I think I understand with Cole Popovich what they want their identity to be, because Ed Ingram was in Kevin O'Connell's system, a product of the Shanahan tree, an offshoot of that McVay, those similar types of offshoots. Ed Ingram didn't fit very well. He gets here, and Cole Popovich wants him to just line up and beat the snot out of somebody in front of him and dominate at the line of scrimmage. And all of a sudden, he turns into a mauling menace. So, and he's about to get paid because of it. So, and I say this all the time. System matters because players matter. You don't try and mold your players to the system. You try and mold your system to the players, because that's what coaching is. That's what coaching is figuring out what your players do best and then trying to build best around those players. Otherwise, because you can't field a team of, 53 individuals that can all be that type of mind on a football team, to where they are that football savvy and intelligent and hungry and wired the way that a Tom Brady is. It's an impossible feat to ask. Like Randy Moss was a wild card. He was also a football savant, though.
Yes, very true. He was a football savant. He knew how to get open. He also helped Bill Belichick, because he always talks about, hey, they're going to run a single high. He's all, coach, you ain't seeing a single high with me. I'll have the cover too. He's that's on interviews, and it's just one of those, like, yes, he's a savant, and for me with the New England, you always knew it was going to come to an abrupt end, because once Moss realizes how good he is, sometimes he doesn't run block as well, or kind of quits on stuff, and Belichick's not about that.
And I think that's the identity that Cole Popovich and this Nick Caley and this offensive line are. That's what they want, which is why they got rid of Tunzel, which I think is why they've got rid of Titus Howard. They just want dogs in the trenches. I don't think they necessarily need the best players at their position, but they want people that are going to bring their hard hat, their lunch pail, and go to work for 70-something plays in a game.
That's kind of where I think that's what they're trying to build with the line. That's why I like a Wyatt Teller. He's always been, even when he was in the Browns, he was always a dog. He's going to smash mouth, hit you as hard as he can, and just keep going. Same thing with Joe Bitonio. So that's why I'm like hoping they can get those. And plus, they've shown statuses of being top offensive linemen. So if you get young linemen to learn from them, it'll help out. It's not going to affect your offensive line. But my next question, I don't know if he's available. What do you think about adding like a true fullback to this offense? Because they want to run, they want to be physical. Having a true fullback, not just going and finding a bargain basement, but I mean, you could spend money on a fullback and it's still a bargain basement price. What about a Reggie Gilman? I don't know if he is a free agent. I just saw somewhere that he was a free agent on one of those things, but I don't know if he technically is. I know Reggie Gilman's a good fullback. He played well up in Buffalo, helped make some holes. He's also a Swiss Army knife. They talked about him playing a lot on special teams. What about either, if he's not available, maybe making a trade with like one of your fourth-round picks to go get him or something. Like, just something, because he's valuable.
I get it.
I think you remember when Houston was
You got to remember, though, too. You got to remember, and I remember they had a fullback with Vontae Leach, and after that, going out and getting our Pro Bowler at safety or at fullback. But, I mean, they opened up the holes for Arian Foster, and it was great. But you also have to remember the scheme that they are running. Now, Nick Caley coming from New England, but also spending time with Sean McVay in Los Angeles, and something that he picked up for and looks like he's running. They run a lot of duo with McVay. They run a lot of two tight end personnel and 3 tight end personnel, to where they'll run like 12 and 13, because they don't necessarily use a fullback. They use an extra tight end. And that's where I think the Texans could be looking, because right now, I get it. Brevin Jordan's coming back again from another injury that caused him to miss the whole season because it was an ACL again. But I don't know what you can expect of him. I don't trust Cade Stover as far as I can throw him, and he's a big man, so I don't think I could throw him very far.
I was surprised Cade Stover even made it past the Cubs.
He might not this year, but that's why I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked if, with this money that they're opening up, if they go and attack the tight end position with an Njoku or something like that. I also wouldn't be shocked if they attack it early in the draft. I also don't know where Luke Lachey is at in terms of his development. The tight end out of Iowa they took late last year.
Yeah. I don't know where he is with his development. I haven't heard much about it. But yeah, I'm just like, they got a lot of hope. I know they're going to go tight end. I know, as you say that's what I was thinking, that they'd probably do tight end. I was just like, man, a Reggie Gilman with this offensive line, maybe revamp an offensive line.
I mean, even the Patriots don't run that much with the tight end anymore. The tight end's just kind of being flexed out of the league, and more so than anything. Yeah, sorry, the fullback. Yeah. And more so than anything, they're taking a blocking tight end, or in the Texans case, a third tackle, and using that in place of the fullback on the line. So they're getting more push up front than a leading candidate for the running back. That way, when you're running duo and gap, the holes are clean for and the lanes are clean for the running back to run through.
I mean, I don't know. I get that. And that's where it's one of those, I think this will be a good offseason for the tight ends. I think they might revamp the whole thing. and redo everything behind Dalton Schultz, because with his resigning, I know they showed that they had not a visit, but they met with Oscar Delp, who was a tight end I've seen late in the rounds, like in certain mocks, and I'm like, he might be someone that can help fit and help out, especially coming out of Georgia, where they run a lot of 2-3 tight end type systems and stuff like that. So, but Fletch, I'll let you get back to what you got to do. Everyone,
Appreciate you, Josh.
Hit the like button, subscribe, say you love Extra Innings with Fletch.
I appreciate it, Josh. Thanks so much,
problem,
man.
brother.
Have a great
Yeah,
weekend.
man. Take it easy.
And there's so much to go into with all of that, because the moves that, and this is what gets me like Adam's shine on after the Titus Howard trade and David Montgomery trade. Said Texans fans should just be up in arms that they trade away an offensive lineman to bring in a running back. I'm not up in arms yet, because I don't know what the ancillary moves around that are. I'm going to wait for free agency to play out before I make my determination of whether Nick Caley did a good job of addressing the needs up front or not. Now, if he goes through free agency, week 1, week 2, and then start signing guys that are backups and cast-offs from other teams to try and fix this problem, then I may have more of an issue in weeks 3 of free agency after I've seen what he's done and just hoping that his draft picks hit. That's different. But I say you got to, and this goes for Jerry Jones, I reserve the right to change my mind as free agency plays out and you see a clear picture painted. But for the most part, I don't like to get too upset before anything's happened. Because right now, nothing outside of the guys that have been released and cut from teams can happen or trade. And even the trades can't be finalized until the league year begins next week. So this is going to be a very interesting next few days, starting on Monday when the legal tampering window opens and we start hearing about all these deals, trades, extra cuts that may come down. And remember, because while we talk about the cut and release, Taylor Decker up in Detroit, same thing that happened in Houston with Joe Mixon. Wanted his release, got his release. Texans acquiesced to Joe requesting to be released, which I'm sure they were going to do anyway. But let's Joe save face a little bit if you put that out and everyone agrees. But remember, Joe Mixon was going to be cut. He was cut. It was reported Joe Mixon was cut. Same thing with Christian Kirk in Jacksonville. Until, wait. We don't want him to hit the open market. We'll give you a 6th round pick for him. Nick's the king of that. So just because someone's cut doesn't mean a trade can't be made after the fact. So keep an eye on what happens and how it happens when free agency gets set to start. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, Spurs were impressive last night as they get ready to take on the Clippers and that dude tonight. And the Morning Huddle asked the question, is anyone as hated in San Antonio as that guy? I've got a guess of who may be, but what say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. When we come back here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Trying to keep up with today's fast-changing digital landscape with more ways to consume content than ever before, it is getting harder to reach your customers. You need more than just a presence. You need the experts at Conrex Digital. We craft websites that convert. We curate engaging content on social and block channels. We generate quality leads through Google and Meta. We dominate your competition on streaming TV. Bold marketing, real results. Conrex Digital makes it happen. Visit conrexdigital.com. That's conrexdigital.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SUPPLY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SUPPLY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code SUPPLY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the unforgettable, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 2nd through the 5th.
Have you or a loved one been arrested? Call the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and get the aggressive legal help you deserve. From criminal defense to personal injury, attorney Jesse Hernandez and his powerhouse team are ready to fight for your rights. Calls are answered 24/7 because legal trouble doesn't keep office hours. Call 210-807-8656 or visit JesseHernandezLaw.com. That's JesseHernandezLaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, has your back.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund. Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas. So you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, PPL Motorhomes, and Encira Auto Group. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your tee, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. You just heard the promo for our golf tournament. Well, guess what? We're running out of spaces. I just got one more entry during that break. And if you've been paying attention all day, that means there is one foursome and one single left. If you want to be a part of the action on March 30th, Monday, 9 a.m., out at the Golf Club of Texas, with all the scenery and all the fun and all the festivities and all the hydration, you're going to want to get registered at sasportstar.com like right now. sasportstar.com, the San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic. It is brought to you in part, well, it's actually sponsored by Flight by Yingling, part of the hydration that's going to be on the course, and by the Texas Chancla, Jesse Hernandez, the law offices. It is also brought to you in part by the Encira Auto Group, PPL Motorhomes, Jim Beam, Hornitos Tequila. Notice all the refreshments that are being made out there. We have you covered. Just come out, bring your friends, and let's have a good time on March 30th. And I think I'm going to be out at this one, so come say hey. A little extra incentive right there. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Earlier today on the Morning Huddle, they're getting ready for tonight's game, and that dude, number 2, the Deuce, Kawhi Leonard, leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths around these parts. But in San Antonio is his name, the one a lot of people like to call Voldemort. Is he the most hated man in the 210?
I wanted to discuss this because, as you call him, Voldemort comes to town tonight. Kawhi Leonard makes another appearance here in.
You said his name.
The Alamo. I don't have the feelings that you do about him. Like to me, Kawhi's just Kawhi. I don't care. So it's not as personal for me as it is for you. And you asked me an intriguing question before the show started. Is there anyone in any city hated as much as Kawhi is hated here? And it's a really good question. I think there are a couple. The first one that comes to mind is Kyrie Irving in Boston. Remember Kyrie went to Boston and it was like,
yeah,
he kind of did them dirty.
Yeah.
Like, I think now, and I always put this sort of, I always say take Kawhi with a grain of salt, because imagine if Kawhi had never won a title for the Spurs, he would just be another guy in the lore. He would be like, okay, yeah, whatever. The reason why Kawhi is so despised by Spurs fan is because he was so great here. He was,
and there's so many.
He brought a ring.
Well, yeah, and there's that. There certainly was. You don't hate a guy that wasn't any good,
right?
So there's certainly that, but the nuance to what he was and what was supposed to happen and what should have happened and what did happen are so. It's this personality driven, passive aggressive. We never knew where he stood. He stood, he used this uncle that no one ever saw as this barrier. And the city and the team bent over backwards for this guy. Did set the table. Look, if you will just be here, there's rings to come. Things are you'll get everything you desire and more. Just vote for Pedro. That's all we ask. And he couldn't even do that. And he was deceitful and he lied and he ran from the team and just everything that you can do to be a bad teammate in the sense of being on the team. Now, I don't know how the players felt about him. It seemed for the most part, except for Tony Parker, Kawhi was Kawhi, and you accepted the fact that he wasn't going to say anything. But I don't know of any city that felt more betrayed. I mean, it was just an absolute betrayal. Like, everything you want, brother, we got you. We got you a title. You got to land with Tim and Tony and Manu. We handed you the keys to the throne. You got the greatest coach in the history of the league and a guy who was uniquely built to protect you, to allow you the space and the comfort and the silence and the soft cotton love that he wanted. And we're not going to force you into the spotlight. We're not going to force you to take a second job. We'll give you everything. And you still just gave us the finger and left. And I will never get over it, ever.
Yeah. And I mean, rightfully so. Like it's
business. And the Spurs never had the business thing before. It had never been just business with us. It's always been more than that.
Like the Spurs thought that I think Spurs fans thought that it was such a, like, how could anybody want to leave this?
Right.
And this is the land of milk and honey.
You got everything except for the coast. I don't know, but it just went, and it was truly, we weren't good enough for you. At our very best, we still weren't good enough. Rings, money, safety, coaching, organization, everything. And you looked at us and said, you're just not pretty enough for me.
Yeah.
And it just kicked us straight in the heart.
Now, I think that you could have made an argument about LeBron James when he left Cleveland, but then he went back and won a title for him.
Yeah, he rectified
and
that.
And I think everybody's kind of good there now.
I mean, James Harden's left a wake of destruction wherever he's been, but I think anybody who got involved with James Harden knew, you're messing with a snake. It could easily bite you. And when he bit you, you go, well, I kind of felt like it could happen. So it happened.
And I feel the same way. B. Hannon in our YouTube chat suggested Harden in Houston. And as a Rockets fan, if I'm honest with myself, it was always a matter of when, not if. It was something that felt like was inevitable, especially the further into it got. And Houston bent over backwards for him. They gave him everything. Kawhi didn't get what Harden got in Houston. Now, not sports related, but I can think of one person in San Antonio hated probably more than Kawhi Leonard. Yolanda Saldivar. 210-656-ESPN 656-3776. If you want to be a part of the conversation, call on in. We're going to get you ready for the weekend. That's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. And you know I love my cake. So I get that big birthday energy without any sugar guilt. The bottle's small, easy to toss in my bag, and perfect when I need a quick, tasty caffeine boost to cakeify my day. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-7098. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-7098. That's 800-575-7098. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. I love numbers. Like 100, as in 100%, as in TaxSlayer's 100% accuracy, guaranteed. And 0, as in $0, as in it costs $0 to file and get the refund you deserve with TaxSlayer Simply Free, if you qualify. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers with age, income, credit, and deduction restrictions. See TaxSlayer.com for eligibility requirements. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really helped me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1076. 800-499-1076. 800-499-1076.
94.1.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I appreciate all y'all for riding along with me tonight. It's been a good one. Spurs tipping off here in a little bit at 8:30, and if they continue to play the way they've been playing since the next game, this team is a team that has no ceiling. And I understand what the pitfalls and shortcomings may be, experience, 3-point shooting, etc. But they play well together. They find ways to win, and they don't go on prolonged losing streaks. That's a good combination for a team going in to the postseason. They respond well to every adverse situation they've been in. And I think that they've got a chance to do something truly special here coming up. And just keep an eye on the standings, because they could be the number 1 seed, not just in the Western Conference, but in the NBA. And that could pay huge dividends come the postseason. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger saying enjoy your weekend, everyone. We've earned it. I've got a lot more work to do. Only one spot left now. One foursome, one single for the San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Tournament. It is brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the Texas Chancla, Jesse Hernandez, the law offices, Hornitos Tequila, Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, and Sierra Auto Group. They are going to have you taken care of at this event. So go ahead, get signed up. Let's sell this thing out before I leave here tonight. sasportstar.com for your chance to get one of the last spots available for our golf tournament. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Call, check on your loved ones. You never know what people are going through in life. And a simple, hey, how you doing, could change everything for them. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. We'll see you on Monday. Start your morning with Rob and AJ, 6 o'clock that morning. We'll see you later that night. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com.